After 600 property sales, I have never once made a decision based on a Rightmove report. And if you've ever stared at one of these things, wondering what you're supposed to do with it, you are not alone, because these numbers don't mean anything. And even if they did, they'd only ever point you to the same 2 or 3 things that you should just fix anyway. So in this video, I'm going to show you why the stats are useless, the real reason your agent still sends them anyway, and the 2 or 3 things you should focus on that actually get your home sold faster for more money with less stress. So here is a Rightmove report I dug out earlier today. First one I found. Instantly, it's confusing, but stick with me. So what does this show us? Well, first, we've got the raw numbers up here. 1,200 views since it was listed. But is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What should it be? Well, the uselessness starts here because there is no right or wrong answer. If you're in the middle of a big city, you might get thousands of views. If you're in a rural area, you might only get dozens. Both would be normal and fine. So what does the number actually tell us that's meaningful that we can do something with? Well, literally nothing. The number exists, but there is no meaning attached to it. So then people say, okay, but we compare it to similar properties. And that's what this line is here, this kind of thin gray line here, similar properties. And we start thinking, okay, it sounds a bit more convincing, a bit more useful, until we actually stop to think what this is. Because the problem is the way it defines similar properties is so vague and broad. So we're piled in, our properties piled in with maybe the same bedroom number nearby, the same price bracket, and that's it. But properties are all so different. And so if ours is getting fewer views online, it doesn't automatically mean anything is wrong with our property and we should change anything with the listing. It might just be a fit for fewer people. Likewise, imagine if your property looks like a show home. You'll draw loads of clicks, so you'll be above average on this graph, but they might just be clicking, you might just be getting clicks from nosy folks wanting to see a nice house that they would never buy. And so this comparison to so-called similar homes is so useless because it assumes a level playing field that just doesn't exist. And so again, it's this meaningless information that we can't do anything with. So the third thing agents will sometimes feed back to you and trying to analyze is the trend line over time. So we can see with this line, we get this big spike of viewings at the top, and then it goes down and it kind of levels out. Maybe it's trailing down a little bit over time. And it looks like, you know, looking at the shape of this line is kind of analytical. It's maybe something we should pay attention to. But in reality, every property just follows the same pattern. You'll see it in yours as well. You launch, you get this spike at the start because loads of people have got Rightmove alerts set up, and then it tails off back to some sort of normal level, and then it drifts off gradually over time. Every time. And it will go lower as the weeks and months pass until you either sell or do something to refresh the listing. So the problem is there's no trend to analyze. It's just like, this is just how it works. And so if we take a step back for a second, we've got numbers we can't interpret, comparisons we can't trust, and trends that happen anyway. And so as sellers, why is our agent sending us this through? Well, here is my best answer I can give you, having seen hundreds of these reports over the last 15 years. It is to make you feel like something's happening. It gives the impression that there's a lot of clever people behind the scenes tweaking and optimizing this sort of some sort of complex scientific process, but there is not. This is an automated report that Rightmove generates. It takes no effort from anyone, and it gets sent to you full of numbers that don't really mean anything to give this impression of activity and progress, regardless of what is really happening, so that the agent can buy time until someone does come along and hopefully buy the property. And the reality is, it's easier for them to send you this than it is for them to call you and give you a real update about what's going well, what isn't going well, and what you should and shouldn't change if you want to actually sell your house fast for its full value. And so if your agent isn't helping with that ultimate goal and this nonsense report isn't guiding us towards it either, what can you do? Well, here is what I focus on, and my hope is you will find this more useful than every Rightmove report I've had in the last 15 years combined. So here's how I see property sales working. It is a funnel. At the top, people see the listing on Rightmove. Some people will click into the listing and see it in more detail. Some of those will call to book a viewing, and some of those will eventually make an offer. Our job, basically, if we want to sell quickly for full value, is to move people from the top to the bottom. And so we need to optimize the things that make people move through. And we don't need a Rightmove report to do it. So first one, how do we get more people to go from seeing the listing to clicking it? Well, 95% of it comes from getting a great front shot. Don't have bad pictures, have great ones. Same house can look dramatically different, and it will lead to dramatically different numbers of people clicking into the listing, which is what we want. You see here how much nicer this this picture is. The first one is done with a drone as well. So they actually use more technology and made the house look worse and less desirable. So in terms of getting this click into the property, I said great picture was 95% of it. The other part is just have preview text that's not awful. That's the snippet of text you'll see next to the listing. That's it. Great front shot, fine description. You will optimize your clicks. Those are the only two levers we can pull here to get more clicks into our listing. So how do we turn these clicks into viewings, as in real people coming away from Rightmove and now through the front door? Well, all we need is a good listing, which just means make sure the rest of the pictures are as good as possible. So tidy house on photo day, nice weather, good photographer, good editing. That's it. Your agent should do this for you. Worst case, it might cost you 200 or 300 quid to get a professional photographer in. I think it more than pays for itself. It's one of the best places you can spend money on your sale. Next is just have a good, simple floor plan that is accurate and includes measurements. Have a realistic asking price. Don't overprice it or people click in and they'll think that's crazy. I'm not going to waste my time going to see that. Realistic asking price makes a difference here. And have a description that isn't awful. Quick tip on this, right? So on average, when we check the descriptions agents write for us, we see 15 to 20 grammar and spelling issues. Like, they are bad. And if they aren't getting grammar and spelling right, there's probably room for improvement elsewhere too in terms of the stuff that they are actually saying. So the simplest advice I can give you is take the description that they give you, put it into ChatGPT, and spend 5 minutes just listing other things you like about your property and selling points that you think the agent has missed, and then just ask ChatGPT to write you a new version and one without spelling errors. So that version that it spits out, have a read through it, make sure that you're happy with it and everything. That version will take you 10 to 15 minutes and it will be better than 90 or 95% of the descriptions agents will actually send you. It is shocking, but it is true. So that's all we've got to do to have a decent listing that turn clicks into viewings at the best rate possible. So once we've done that, how do we turn viewings into offers? Well, I'll talk about the kind of perfect viewing more elsewhere, but in a nutshell, it's a house that's clean and tidy. In most cases, get out of the way, let the agent do the viewing for you. And the reason that we do that is we want to let buyers imagine it as they're visiting their own home for the first time. They're not like they're intruding on your home. So this simple image here, this funnel is how Rightmove actually works to sell your home. And here's the real kicker. You might have kind of noticed we don't need a Rightmove report anywhere in here. And so you see kind of why I these frustrate me so much. They tell us nothing. But even if they did, even if there was some profound insight it gave us, the best it could ever do is tell us to fix one of those things we just listed: photos, price, floor plan, description. And so my crazy suggestion is let's just make those things as good as they can be from the start and ignore the nonsense reports and the meaningless graphs. And I'll just say, I love graphs. Like, I'm all for graphs and statistics and stuff. I just hate meaningless, useless ones. So that is it. Like, I sold over 100 of my own properties. I sold them on average 2 times faster than the national average, while selling them apparently for more than a Rick's valuer even thought that we would sell them for. In that time, I never checked a Rightmove report in my life. And by the way, if you want me to do that for you and your sale as well, click the link in the description and you can see about our service and how we work. If you want to handle it yourself though, here's the other thing to watch out for. So Rightmove is not the be all end all of selling your home. From our internal data, 60 to 70% of our eventual sales come from proactive work that good agents do for you, not just putting it on Rightmove and hoping the phone rings. So choosing the right estate agent is therefore really, really important. The problem is most people follow the conventional advice, which I've found to be totally wrong. And so watch this next video where I explain the mistake most people make when choosing their estate agent and a simple process you can follow to make sure you pick the right one.